Finally, my sound is working. Okay, great. So let's do this completely over. This is weird. I've been working from home. Just tested it with the test environment. Then it worked, but then didn't. So I logged in again, and now apparently it works. So again, hi everyone. Welcome to this live webinar about Amazon PPC. And as it live, then these mistakes can happen. Welcome also in my living room. Normally I'd be running this webinar at the office, but of course we want to stay safe and healthy, of course. So during this pandemic, I'll be running the webinar via home. Glad to see we also have so many participants around the world. I think this is a very hot topic that is growing and changing quickly. So personally for me, I think it's a very interesting topic. And it's also one of the reasons why I started working on Amazon PPC. This webinar will take approximately 45 minutes, which will leave us some room at the end to answer your questions. If your questions do not get answered during this webinar, then we'll try to follow up your questions via email. So for the people who do not know me, I am Alex van der Pol, working on PPC for close to 6 years. Started working with Google AdWords, as it was then called, as a representative for Google to onboard SMBs in the Netherlands and in Belgium. And I've been working for IT for about 4 years, focusing on Google Shopping and text ads initially. And now lately I'm focused on Amazon PPC. So what is Achieve? Achieve is a data science company. We're specialized in online marketing, and we've built our own software that is used by both agencies and internal PPC teams. We have about 35 consultants and data scientists, developers to support you in getting the best performance out of the marketing platforms in which you operate. And a funny side note is that we just got awarded Best PPC Management Software, mainly for our capabilities of using data from different platforms like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. We work with different companies in both retail, travel, automotive, and the job market sector. Basically, any type of company with dynamic assortment and significant advertising budgets, as well as agencies that support those companies. So the agenda for today, we have 4 main topics: the importance of platforms and Amazon in general, or specific. And what is Amazon PPC? What are Amazon PPC strategies, and how can you automate those Amazon PPC strategies? So first off, I'm going to dive into a little bit about the importance of the platform economy. So in general, digital sales have increased quickly the last years, and this was only accelerated due to COVID-19. So economists expect digital sales to increase even further across different verticals, especially in fashion and in the food sector. But what is interesting to see is that the pie is getting bigger, a lot bigger, but a bigger piece of the pie, so to say, is going to platforms. So if you sell products on your own website and you are not you're not on a platform yet, you might even start to see digital sales falling. So it's important to take a look at your current strategy and decide how you're going to place your business in a world where platforms dominate digital sales. So if you dive into Amazon specifically, then you can clearly see Amazon is taking a large chunk across different verticals, but especially in verticals where you can easily compare different products like electronics, for example. The market share for clothing and furniture is still a lot smaller, but these are more ambience-focused products and are less easy to compare based on price and features, but those verticals are also growing on Amazon. So it's interesting to see how big Amazon is and how much market share it has. And what is also interesting to see is that Amazon is taking the 3rd place when it comes to ad dollars as well. So after Google and Microsoft, it's 3rd place, and it's getting a much larger market share as well. What's also interesting to see is that Amazon ad sales is increasingly growing, and Amazon is basically cluttering the search result page more and more with ads. So that's the reason where these ad dollars are coming from. So there's a big opportunity for us as people working within the PPC environment to take a look at this platform and see how we can use it to grow the sales of the companies that we work for. So for the people like me who are used to putting their product ads on Google Shopping, it's very interesting to see that the conversion rates on Amazon are 3 times larger than they are on Google Shopping. So people on Amazon are more in a buying mode than they are on Google Shopping. So they are generally lower in the conversion funnel and also therefore more likely to buy at that given moment, which is nice because it means that you will need less clicks, get the same amount of conversions than on Google Shopping. But of course, on Amazon, you will still have to pay the commission costs, of course. So it's always important to keep in mind how much room, how much margin do you have left on Amazon to place your bids. So you might say my products are already on Amazon and I'm already paying Amazon commissions for each sale. So why advertise if your products are already on Amazon? Well, PPC is the start of the flying wheel when it comes to getting your products visible on Amazon. And there's a key difference. Your products might be on Amazon, but millions of other sellers are also on Amazon. So it does not mean that your products are on Amazon, that your products are also visible on Amazon. It's an important difference. And without visibility, there's of course no sales. So to get started, you can advertise for these products to get that initial exposure, and this initial exposure will boost the amount of reviews you'll get on Amazon, and this will also increase the trust that Amazon has for you as a seller and the trust for your products, which will increase the ranking also of your organic sales and would also give you more opportunity for products to advertise on. So that then will increase the amount of reviews and sales you'll get from the advertisement again, and the flying wheel keeps on turning. So if that's not enough reason, here are 8 more reasons to advertise. It can increase the visibility of your products, which in turn will increase the number of sales you will have. You can use it to control for seasonality. So products that are out of season, you can put on Amazon to sell your products there, so you get rid of that inventory. You can use it to promote new products, so to create the awareness of those new products. It's a nice platform because many people start on Amazon to search for those types of products. And what's also important to see is that if you have a strong brand and you have successful products, then your competitors might take away some of the key spots that are given when people are searching for your products. And you can use Amazon PPC to protect for those spots. So you can also send traffic to products with lower search volumes to get that initial exposure. And you can use it to increase the awareness of specific promotions that you're running on your products. And lastly, as I mentioned before, it's also important to take the whole look at the entire platform and also look at your organic ranking. That's indirectly also where Amazon PPC contributes to. So these 8 reasons are all important, and it's also important to remember that you cannot advertise on a product where you do not hold the buy box. So what is the buy box? The buy box is basically the buy button. When you go into a product overview page, you'll see that buy button, only one specific seller can own that buy box at a given time. Could be that during the day, you in the morning own that buy box and your competitor in the afternoon owns that buy box. But that at one given time, there's only one seller that can own the buy box, and you can only advertise for a product when you own the buy box. So that's one important thing to keep in mind. So how to win the buy box? So Amazon decides who owns the buy box based on a great number of factors, including, or most importantly, fulfillment, price, and shipping time. As this webinar is about PPC, I'm not going to throw out this whole cheat sheet, but it's important for you to understand all the different factors that are involved. So I'll just leave it here so you can use it. Just keep in mind that fulfillment, price, and shipping time are very important factors, and that's not there's more factors involved in whether or not you own the buy box. And of course, for Amazon, it's important to have low prices, have good shipping time. So these are the main drivers of owning the buy box. So this is the Amazon search result page, and it's one of the most important places where your ads can be shown. When you see there are sponsored brands, you can see sponsored brands at the top and the sponsored product ads in the middle, and below you can see the organic results. So what is important to note is that the screenshot is zoomed out, and if I had not zoomed out, then you would not have seen the organic results as they're below the fold line. So you literally have to scroll down in order to see the products. It's not always the case, but it's very often the case that the organic results are below the fold line. And in this case, the first organic sale or organic products that you will see are prime items, which are items that are eligible for free delivery. But yeah, that's an whole another topic. So it's important to see that the search result page, the first top spots are filled with ads, and I will later dive into the different types of ads. But this is how your ads will appear. What's also nice to see is that when you click on a sponsored product ad or organic result or a product within the sponsored brand ad, then it will take you to the product overview page. Most often, sponsored ads will also appear on the product overview page next or below the product itself, which gives advertisers basically the opportunity to highlight the product against similar products or products which are complements. So in this case, you have a bed sheet and the pillowcase would be a complement product, as they are often bought together. So this is another way of getting traffic to your products, is finding similar products or complement products that that are often bought together. So this is another way also for Amazon to get money out of the ads. What's important to highlight is that there's different options depending either if you're a vendor or a seller. So vendors are companies who sell directly to Amazon, and sellers are companies who deliver their products to the customer directly or via or using fulfillment by Amazon. So so generally vendors are asked by Amazon, and the seller, you can apply for becoming a seller if you are a seller and you have a well-known brand, and Amazon is likely to contact you to become a vendor as well. And the different strategies involved, whether you want to be a vendor or a seller, is a whole other topic. If a vendor, you have more control about you have less control about the product price and the content. As a seller, you have more control. But what is important for you to know as a PPC marketeer is that they have entirely different options when it comes to advertising. So vendors have a lot more options when it comes to advertising. And next to sponsored products and sponsored brand ads, they can also create display and video ads. In addition, they can create their own storefront within Amazon. This is basically a whole product page with all the products from within that brand that you're offering that people can go into and see in what all other products that you sell. Sellers can only use sponsored product ads, and if they've registered with Amazon Brand Registry, they can also use sponsored brand ads. So they're a lot more limited in which ads they can use. But it's important to know that sponsored product ads are the most common type of ad on Amazon, and that for sellers, it's usually also sponsored product ads that you will use. And in some cases, you can also use the sponsored brand ads as well. So what are the differences between sponsored product ads and sponsored brand ads? As the name suggests, sponsored products let you highlight your products, and sponsored brands let you highlight the brand. And in the latter case, you can drive traffic to your Amazon store page as well. So basically a collection of products that you can show. You can also set up your own highlight and set up your own logo or image. And if you would compare it to Google Shopping, then you could view the regular sponsored products similar to Google's shopping ads, and the Google Showcase ads are more similar to sponsored brand ads, as it is more of a collection of products that you're going to show. Please be aware that about how Amazon attributes ad clicks, as this differs between the type of ads and whether you're a vendor or a seller. Typical attribution window is 14 days, except for seller advertisers advertising with sponsored products, it's 7 days. So if someone clicks on an ad but buys the products 5 days later, it will be attributed to the ad. But if it takes more than 2 weeks, then in all cases it will be it will not be attributed. The product that is sold does not have to be the product that is clicked on. So this could be an entirely different product. For sponsored brands, it could be from a different seller if someone buys this from the same brand. So basically, the sponsored products work similar to Google. If someone clicks on a certain product ad, someone might buy an entirely different product, but it will still be attributed. But if you're using sponsored brand ads, then it gets a little bit more complicated, because it might be third-party sellers who are selling the same brand. And if you're advertising for that brand, then sales from the third-party resellers might also be attributed. Via the API, there's also different ways of getting other types of attribution. So we can retrieve 1 day, 7 day, 14 day, and 30-day attribution windows. And we can also look at same product attribution. So if you want to understand, or you want to get more ways of attribution, if you want to see more ways of attribution, then you can use software, you can use the Amazon API. How does targeting work on Amazon? First, we have the option to let Amazon target your products automatically. That could either be based on close or loose match searches, or on products that are substitutes of complements of your products. So complement was like the pillowcase with the bed sheets. That would be a complement. Substitute would be another bed sheet. And post match would be someone searches specifically for bed sheets, and there will be a close match, and loose match will be a more broader match with the product that you're offering. So other campaigns could be looked at most similarly to Google Shopping campaigns, but Google also automatically will find the right keywords for you. In this case, Amazon will find the right keywords and products that are similar to the product that you're advertising for. And it's a very handy way to start off your campaigns, as it doesn't you don't really have to do much to set this up, and Amazon will do this all automatically for you. So it's always good to have at least one automatic campaign running and get that all that extra targeting. So for each type of targeting within automatic campaign, you can also set up your own bids. So you can set up a different bid for close match than you would set for substitutes, for example. At the other side, you also have the manual targeting options, just like you could see through similar to Google Text Ads, where you have keyword targeting in exact match, in phrase match, and also in broad match. And the latter case, broad match, is more similar to broad match modified in Google. So exact match is ads are only matched when people are searching exactly for certain keywords. Phrase, when the phrase of that keyword is similar to your phrase, could be searches in front of that phrase or searches behind that phrase, but it will always be matched. And broad match, then the order of the words do not matter anymore. So it's a little bit broader way of targeting. Then besides the keyword targeting, you also have the ASIN targeting. ASINs are basically Amazon's unique way of identifying products. So it's similar to ANs or GTINs. So each product will have its unique ASIN, and you can use that ASIN to target. So if you have a competitor which has a similar product and you know that ASIN, you can use that ASIN to target your product. So we'll dive into strategies later on this webinar, but it's important to know what ASINs are. And finally, you also have the option to target specific categories. So you can target the category for bed sheets, for example, or you can target pillowcases. You could target also specific brands like Nike or Adidas or whatever. So there's different targeting options, and you can set specific bids for those targeting options as well. So how does the auction model work? So similar to Google Ads, the auction model within Amazon is based on a victory auction, which is a second price sealed bid. So you only pay what you need to pay in order to maintain your position against your competitor, and you cannot see the bid of your competitor. You can see there is no such thing as a quality score, but I put it here because it kind of works similar to a quality score in Google Ads, is that the bid is not the only factor that determines your position. Just as the buy box, there's other ways for Amazon to determine which products should be placed first, like the return rate or customer satisfaction, for example. What is also important to know is that the automatic bidding option with Amazon is limited. It's only currently open for sponsored brands. So for sponsored products, you have to bid manually. And there's also not that many ways of modifying your bid. So you can modify your bid for top of the search result page, for your product page, and you can set the default for rest of search. So top of search would be if someone searches on Amazon and you have the product overview page, then the top ads would be top of search, and product page would be on the page of a specific product, and rest of search would be below the organic results or between the organic results. So if you want to bid a little bit more for top of the page, you can set a modifier on that as well. It's nice to get some extra brand awareness if that's your goal. So now you know the basics of Amazon PPC, and it's so I like to go into the strategic part. So what is the best PPC strategy? Well, of course, this depends. There's not one strategy that works for everyone. Strategy depends on, for instance, brand versus reseller. If you're a brand, you can cannibalize your own organic results. And as a reseller, you have less incentive in building brand awareness, but you are more focused on selling products directly. So if you're a brand and someone searches for your brand, then very likely that your organic results will also appear. But it's also possible that your competitors are taking the top spots using ads, for example. So you can block that top spots, but you have to look at the incremental sales that you're retrieving from the ads. So that's why this might be a different strategy if you're a brand owner versus if you are a reseller of products. It also depends on the level of automation and optimization time. So if you're managing things manually and the budgets are small, then a very granular campaign structure might not be the best option for you. So it will take just too much time in placing the bids and placing the keywords, etc. So generally, a very granular structure is recommended because then you have more control about the keywords and products that you're offering, but you need more automation in order to do this. Otherwise, it could take up too much time. So generally, if there is enough budget and you can use automation tool, then we should recommend creating separate campaigns for auto targeting and also for manual targeting. And then the manual targeting should be separated into different types of campaigns for non-branded and branded keywords, as well as separate campaigns for product targeting. And then within each campaign, you would set different or specific ad group for each product. So you get a lot of different ad groups, which enables you to bid very specifically on a keyword in combination with a product, and will give you the most flexibility in in setting up your bids, and will also enable you to bid more when it's more likely to convert. So someone might search very specifically for a product, which is a very good signal of that. The chance that the person is very low in the conversion funnel, so very likely to buy, and then you might want to bid more than when someone is searching very generic. So this campaign structure will give you the most flexibility, the most opportunity to bid very specific on those types of keywords. So what can be automated when it comes to Amazon PPC? The campaign creation can be automated. Keyword and ASIN harvesting can be automated. Your bids and budget can be automated, and your reporting can be automated. So first I'll dive into the campaign creation. So this can be automated using a product feed. This is usually a CSV or XML file with all your product information. You can use keywords from the feed to target, and this will enable you to automatically create the campaign structure that you've determined. So basically, for maybe you want to create separate campaigns for each brand, and want to create separate ad groups for each product. This can all be automated, and then when a new product will appear, so when you have a new product in stock, this will enable you to automatically have this product on Amazon PPC. So the automatic feature will automatically create that ad group for you, and it will also pause the specific ad group when your product is out of stock. So this will take away a lot of your time managing the campaigns and make sure that everything runs smoothly. So second part that can be automated is the harvesting of keywords from your auto campaigns. Your keyword can be transferred from auto to manual campaign, so you can set a more specific bid on that keyword. Similarly, if you advertise on Google and you advertise on Microsoft, then you can use that keywords as well. So this enables you to bid much more specifically for keywords that are more likely to convert. Also, it will automatically put those keywords as a negative in the auto campaign, so it does not appear there again. And then a unique feature that we offer as a Chief, that we also use data from Google Ads. So normally you would have just the auto campaign and use that as your input, and then it will automatically create an exact match ad group and also a broad match ad group. So we have two ways of targeting those specific keywords. So that's another thing that you should automate when it comes to Amazon PPC. And this is how this will look like in our tool. So we can select which campaign the keyword should go to and from which campaign the keyword should come from. And then this will automatically be transferred. Similarly, you can use ASIN harvesting. So ASINs are the specific identifications of the products, and which you can target in an ASIN campaign. The auto campaign from Amazon will do this automatically. Will also automatically create or target these ASINs, but you might want to select ASINs to target specifically and look at the reviews of that product. If the reviews are lower than your product and the prices are higher, then that will be an interesting ASIN to target in your manual campaign. And ASINs that are more competitive against your product, then those might be ASINs that you might want to automatically put as a negative. But ASINs that you've selected in your auto campaign, you can also put as a negative in order to make sure that you can bid more specifically for that type of ASIN. So some ASINs might be more interesting to bid a little bit more, and some ASINs might be interesting to bid a little bit less. And in another case, we use data from the backend of the customer, so that this specific customer sells both its own white label brands, but also well-known brands that people might actually search for. And we know which products people have clicked clicked on using Google Shopping, for example, and then bought that's a white label product that is similar. So if we have that match between those two products, then we know which ASIN we should target for your white label products, where you have more margin and also more room to bid, and might also be more interesting for the customer because usually it has lower prices. And of course, bidding is very important, something that should also be automated. Most retailers choose an ACoS target, so that's advertising cost of sale, and based on that ACoS target, they will optimize their bids. ACoS is basically, for the people who work with Google Ads, it's basically the reverse of return on ad spend. So for every euro that you spend on Amazon, then you want, for example, you want 10 euros in revenue back. That's usually how most e-commerce companies operate. That's also usually the best way of starting your campaigns, because it's easy to see the connection between the two metrics, between costs and revenue. But if you advertise for a longer period, then you might want to take into account other factors, for example, your organic sales, but also your margins. So if you have a large range of products with all different types of margins, then you might want to include purchasing costs as well as shipping costs, and maybe you have different commission rates. So you will want to use that information to determine the most optimal bid. So we can help you in getting that data all together and use it to get towards your most optimal bid. What we do not recommend is to optimize your bids based on scarce data. So if you have a very granular campaign structure and you have separate keywords and separate products in different ad groups, then what you often see is that you only have a few clicks per ad group, and then you have no conversion on that ad group, and you might want to say, okay, I want to bid very low, and I want to pause that ad group, but usually this is not recommended, as you need a lot more data in order to make that decision. So we would recommend the more Bayesian approach, where you would look at products that are similar, and based on that data, you would determine the bid, and you proportionally use the data on product level in order to factor that in as well. So if possible, you might want to use an algorithm. So we yourself have created an algorithm which uses the Bayesian approach as well as other statistical techniques such as machine learning, semantic understanding, exponential smoothing, and also data aggregation. Last but not least, it's advised to create your own reporting with the total orders for Amazon and your product margins. So it's nice to have that overview. You could set up your own dashboard or use tooling to get this, but it's always nice to keep in mind the entire picture when it comes to Amazon. So that's it. It's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed this presentation and you stick with us even though the sound didn't work at the beginning. I do have time to answer some of your questions. So please drop the questions in the question box, and then my colleague will pick up these questions and send it to me. Okay, I have one question. So I don't know, automatic bidding options for Amazon PPC. No, not for sponsored product ads yet. So you only have the option to automatically bid more or less based on the placement, but not on the keyword level. So that's not an option at the moment. So yeah, you have to either you do this manually or use specific tooling for this. We will send a presentation, or we send a video to the people. So people who've watched the webinar, people who couldn't watch it but still applied, we will send the presentation to you. So no worries about that. How can you upload or change campaigns in bulk without using a tool? There's a bulk upload feature, which is similar to Google Ads Editor, which you can use to upload your campaigns, but also your keywords and bits. It works still. It's not as advanced as within Google, but it will definitely help you in quickly building up your campaigns. It's a lot quicker than doing this manually, but of course it's even more easier if you can use a tool. When is Amazon PPC coming to the Netherlands? Well, I just got the news yesterday from a good source that the Amazon first, the videos and display ads are coming to Amazon Netherlands. This is going to, this is actually, I think they're already open for some advertisers, but it will be open in the next coming weeks. And then the general sponsored products and brand ads will be either at the end of this year or very early next year. So we still have to wait a little bit, but won't be too long, fortunately. What would you suggest if you want to learn more from this? Well, Amazon has its own video presentation, so you can also do you can also opt for the certification within Amazon PPC. So you can search for that, and then Amazon will show different videos about different ways of targeting and how you can use Amazon PPC. So I would suggest first starting there, because then you get the information directly from Amazon, and it will also be the latest information. And if not, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. We have our own blog, which usually every other week we'll post something about Amazon. So I recommend to look at this as well. Any estimate that can be shared on CPC levels compared to Google Ads search shopping? I think it's hard to say. For now, I think it's quite similar. So on Amazon, you have much higher conversion rates, but you also have high commissions. So in general, that evens it out. To be honest, I don't know. I don't have the exact figures, so it's just based on personal experience. But I've seen a slideshow where they have explicit numbers, and I can email you that afterwards. Is it possible to get a demo of your Amazon PPC software solution? Yes, of course. Please send us an email or contact me also on LinkedIn. I'm very active also on LinkedIn, so just connect with me, send me a message, and then I'll try to schedule a meeting for a demo. I see you have some tools designed by Chief which are not available to the general public. Yes, it's still doable for smaller organizations to run successful MSC PPC campaigns. Yes, it is possible, of course. Just start off with the auto campaign, set a bid that's competitive but doesn't go into your margins too deeply. Start off with that. Just check how are people searching. Maybe set up a manual campaign to target that specific searches as well, and use that. So don't be scared off with all the other larger advertisers that use PPC software. If you have a few products, just start and build up from there. Eventually, there's more than just PPC strategy. That it's important also price competitiveness and the quality and the reviews of your products. So if you focus on that as well, and you have a reasonable setup of your PPC campaigns, then you can still be competitive. So I think I've answered all of the questions so far. Yeah, if that's it, then well, of course, if you still have a question, just email me, and yeah, I'll get back to you on a later stage. And for now, I'll thank everyone for showing this interest and sticking with me despite the initial problems with microphone. So thanks a lot. Cheers.